us right back home. The Firebirds back in Flint and hoping for back-to-back wins. It's the Owen Sound attack on the other side of things in the midst of a 3-game road swing as they'll see the Birds for the first time this season. And hey, we hope you wore your Halloween costume. Spooky season in Flint for the Firebirds and the attack. Flint Firebirds hockey is on the air. And it starts right now. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the broadcast booth for tonight's pregame show, driven by Shea Automotive. Here to tell you the story, I'm Brian Gardner. We've got the Firebirds and the Owen Sound attack for the first time this season. The Birds and the attack, these Western Conference foes meeting for the first of 4. Owen Sound in the midst of a 3-game road swing. Flint back home after an out and back up north to the Guelph Storm in Guelph, Ontario. Now the Firebirds had a big win yesterday. The final score was 7-2 for Flint as they had a 5-goal outburst in the second period. The most goals they've had in a single period this season. Flint also equaled its season high in goals for a single game, dating back all the way to game 1 on the road in London. The Firebirds now their second time putting up 7 goals in a game. Now you might say, hey, what's the big deal? It's the OHL. It's lots of high-scoring games. Well, Flint had really been snake-bitten as of late, especially in the morning game on the road in Sarnia on Wednesday. Flint was across the Blue Water Bridge for a little education day, school day game against the Sarnia Sting, a 10:30 a.m. puck drop. But Firebirds dominated that game. They put up a season-high 43 shots on goal. They scored once. Nick Serzic had turned them away 42 times. Also was good in the shootout as Flint lost that one 2-1. Now that was the second time in the span of 3 games the Firebirds had a dominant offensive performance that saw them pot just 1 goal. And it also happened last Friday on the road in the Sioux. So Flint was feeling a little bit frustrated and thinking, hey, the process has been great. Paul Flash kept talking about it. We like the way we're playing. We like the way things are going. Look at the zone time. Look at the chances. Everything but goals. But the goals finally came. And for the Firebirds, they really hoped that that was getting the lid off the jar, a little bit of an exhale coming into this game against an Owen Sound team that has struggled to keep the puck out of its net. So the Firebirds and the attack should be a fun one here on this Saturday evening from mid-Michigan. And before we get too deep into this matchup, why don't we look at what happened the last time each of these two teams was on the ice. We begin on Thursday in Windsor. The attack visiting the Spitfires. Windsor on the board first. How about Noah Morneau? He fires one home, and it's 1-0 Spitfires. Owen Sound will answer. Sam McHugh able to sneak one through. Evens things up going into the second. Now Liam Greentree, though, broken out first minute. Silky smooth for the Kings prospect. Goes to the backhand. The Spits captain scores, and it's 2-1. Then how about the Caps prospect? Ilya Protas going to get in on the fun here. Backdoor slam dunk, 3-1 Spitfires. Owen Sound not going away in this game, though. This team looks like they're pretty pesky. Landon Hookey getting in on the action this time. Hookey's been a goal scorer. It has 7 on the season as Liam Greentree the other way on a power play. Greentree teeing him up. One-timer Jack Nesbitt. You'll hear from him again as he puts him up 4-2. How about you hear from him again right now? Nesbitt finishes in tight. His second of the game, 5-2 Spitfires. But hey, we said Owen Sound does not go away. This time it's the rookie, and Pierce Bowie in front of the net off the feed. His 4th of the season. Owen Sound within 2. How about Owen Sound to get within 1? This time Ben Cormier going to get in on the fun on the doorstep. Finishes off of that feed, and the score is 5-4 in the third. But here comes Windsor again. Broken out. Feed Ethan Garden. He sneaks that thing home, and the score is 6-4. On the power play, though, the attack, backdoor, Hookey, his second of the game. They're not going away in 6-5, but with an empty net. How about a hat trick for Jax Nesbitt? Nesbitt's third. They'll celebrate. Hug your old tender, everyone. The Spitfires win by a final of 7-5. We already alluded to this one. The Firebirds on the road in Guelph last night. First period late, it was scoreless until Nate Aspinall able to find Evan Conyon. Slick little feed. Look what I found. Conyon shoves that one home as the goaltender not even looking, made it 1-0. Then early second, Aspinall now to finish on the rebound. Big man's hard to move. The 6'7" winger shoves it home to make it 2-0. Then later, look at the silky mitts on Cole Zarowski off a gorgeous feed from Chris Thibodeau. What chemistry those two have developed. Zarowski scores 3-0 Firebirds. Jack Darcy the shot, Zarowski the deflection, Aspinall the finish again. The floodgates are open, it's 4-0. Then it's that man again, Cole Zarowski. Does not look like a rookie out there. 5-0 Firebirds. Birds add to that late second period. At this point, it's 5-1, making 6-1. Blake Smith off the one faceoff. Then in the third, how about a dart from Caden Petrie just over the right shoulder. That's the 7th of the game. The Firebirds cruise in Guelph by a final of 7-2. Nathan Day in that game made 35 saves on 37 shots. Now these two teams, they look a little bit different. We mentioned the Firebirds had been struggling to put the puck in the net, but those 7 goals yesterday will help quite a bit. The Birds back into the top half of the league in terms of goals scored per game. Owen Sound, they score, they just struggle to keep the puck out of the net. Now they have the second most goals against per game this season. Their penalty kill has been quite good though, just under 85%. Standings check, of course, still early, but the Firebirds find themselves in the midst of really a tight setup, especially from 4 down to 8. That's separated by only 3 points. Owen Sound, one of the teams on the outside looking in terms of playoff positioning. Birds back to an even 500 in terms of points percentage, up to 11 points into double digits after that win yesterday. Now Owen Sound, they've also dropped 4 in a row. Right now it's the Attack and the Storm who are looking on the outside into the would-be playoff picture of the Western Conference, and you just saw those highlights from the Windsor Spitfires. Boy, does Windsor look good at 9-1-1-0. So we got the Firebirds and the Owen Sound Attack for the first time this season. Now Flint took the season series last year, trying to make that back-to-back years. First meeting of 4. Now the Attack will be back here in December. Flint's not going up to Owen Sound until January and then to March. Pretty spread out, so you're not going to get too familiar with how this team looks really at any given point of the season. Firebirds hope they can catch a skidding team at exactly the right time to get themselves boosted onto a bit of a winning streak. Hey, stick around throughout this pregame show driven by Shea Automotive. When we come back, we're going to get a look at today's lineups, our players to watch, rolling along later on to the starting lineup, introductions, puck drop, anthem, really everything leading up till puck drop. We got the Firebirds and the Owen Sound Attack here on the pregame show driven by Shea Automotive. We're back in a moment. Don't go anywhere. This is the Firebirds Hockey Network.
The Shea Mega Lot is GM's #1 certified Car Bravo dealer. Here's what it's all about. With Car Bravo, all makes and models up to 10 years and 100,000 miles come with a 6-month, 6,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. Like this. 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 Ford, Audi, Lexus, Ram, Toyota, Jeep, Lincoln. The time is now to take advantage of the #1 certified GM Car Bravo warranty. Imagine where you could go. Just saying.
It's the Firebirds and the Owen Sound Attack. Flint and Owen Sound for the first time this season. Birds back home off of a big 7-2 win over the Guelph Storm on the road last night. Flint trying to make it a clean sweep of the weekend, finishing out its week of work here today. Taking a look at the lineup as we begin with the Owen Sound Attack. Now, this is a very young Owen Sound team, and really the big thing is who isn't in there. No Connor Smith, he's out with an upper body injury. The Anaheim Ducks prospect and overager, mainstay on the blue line. Carter George, LA Kings prospect, will get the nod in goal. He's been quite good, even with Owen Sound struggling a little bit this season. As Owen Sound is a team that's kind of hitting the reset button after they traded Colby Barlow at the beginning of the season. Our players to watch for today's contest, we'll begin with the Attack, and we already mentioned him, Landon Hookey. He leads the way for the Attack this season. 7 goals and 4 assists. Now, as we mentioned, that preseason trade of Colby Barlow, after that trade, the question was, hey, who's going to put the puck in the net? So far, the answer has been Hookey. Big 6'5" forward. He's been finding the stack sheet, coming off of a 2-goal performance against Windsor on Thursday. 6 goals in the last 5 games for Landon Hookey. Keep an eye on big number 10 in the Road Red Sweaters. We mentioned the youth movement. How about Pierce Bowie? He was selected 1 pick after Cole Zarowski was taken by the Firebirds at number 6. This was the number 7 overall pick in the 2024 OHL priority selection. He's been looking good. 4 goals so far on the season, along with 1 assist. He's off to a nice start. Now the youth movement is on an Owen Sound, and it seems like Bowie is going to be a big part of things moving forward for the Attack. And finally, back to some veteran presence on this young team and Sam McHugh, Toronto Maple Leafs prospect. He was drafted in the 7th round by Toronto in the 2024 NHL draft. Up to a point per game on the season. He's +6 off of a 2-point performance against the Windsor Spitfires on Thursday. Now McHugh, you might remember his brother Max from playing for the London Knights as well, a name that's been around in the Ontario Hockey League for a little bit as of late. Taking a look at the Firebirds lineup. The Birds coming off of that win on the road yesterday. Now it's good to see Caden Petrie in there as a top line center after he took a high hard hit late in the game yesterday. Didn't return, but he seems to be all good to go. Was in good spirits on the bus ride coming home. Firebirds going with an unbalanced lineup of 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. Rylan Fellinger slotting back in for Flint as, for the most part, the Birds keeping a similar feel to what they've been going with as of late. Nathan Day back in the cage. Our players to watch for the Firebirds, we just mentioned him, Cole Zarowski. How good has this kid been, especially as of late? 3 points last night, 2 goals and a helper. Career high in points. First career 2-goal game for the number 6 overall draft pick in the 2024 OHL priority selection. Up to 4 goals and 4 assists in 8 games. Now Zarowski finds himself looking really comfortable. He's full of creativity, showing off that lethal snapshot last night. Tied for 7th among rookies in points, tied for 4th in goals, and it looks like it might maintain for the youngster, number 67 for the Birds. Moving over from the wing from that line to center, and Chris Thibodeau. He's moved off his typical wing position to center, and it has unlocked something in Thibodeau, who's got a great chemistry going with the young Cole Zarowski. Leads the team now with 10 assists, also leads the team with 12 points, 2 helpers yesterday. Now Thibodeau, that speed really makes him a difference maker. It seems like moving him to center has unlocked some of the playmaking potential. And why don't we finish off with this same line? Yeah, there's a bit of a theme here. Nate Aspinall over on the left wing, completing the line that has been so good lately. Aspinall off the career-high 4-point night, 2 goals, 2 helpers. He was excellent yesterday. Seems like the perfect balance to the Zarowski and Thibodeau combo. Chemistry's there for all 3, really. Big man cleaned up a couple of pucks in front of the net. He's now up to a point per game, and he's tied for the team lead with 5 goals. And yeah, that was a career-high 4 points last night against Guelph. So the Firebirds will be looking for more of the same out of those 3 and hoping for some more contributions up and down the lineup, as Flint seems like they might have unlocked something with that big 7-goal performance yesterday. Birds hoping they can roll into another win back-to-back here on the weekend to finish out their week of work. Hey, we're going to take a break right now, but when we come back, we've got starting lineup introductions. We've got the national anthem, and we've got puck drop. Birds and the Owen Sound Attack coming up after this. This has been the pregame show driven by Shea Automotive. Firebirds Attack up next on FHN.
Hello? Are you there? The Shea Megalot is hosting their annual pre-owned lease pull-ahead. Are you upside down on your trade? Over on your miles? We'll buy your car.
Don't just turn your lease in.
We'll buy your car.
Is your current payment too high?
We'll buy your car.
Trapped in your lease?
We'll buy your car.
Not in the market for a car?
We'll still buy your car.
Are your service bills adding up?
We'll buy your car.
Bad credit?
We'll buy your car. Plus, the Shea Megalot has over 500 pre-owned and certified vehicles to choose from. Just Shea'n.